Greetings, sisters and brothers.
Today I'm here not to remind you but affirming the fact not only to Ugandans but to the entire world that our victory has been stolen. But Ugandans, the responsibility still remains on us, the indigenous Ugandans, that we have again to go back on street and start demanding for our victory.
Bigambo bya lunyanyimbe oba oluzungu nkusaba no bakabono bo sharing video soka ogirakinge oyo no aita abavuka abeyigatte wamu okubanja obuwanguzi bwa mu protest vote mu mbera eyo kanonya mu kukakuuma mu mbera eyo kalonda kati wabula ekintu kimu kyakubanga kabanja obuwanguzi obuli osinga bunaba bonyagidwa twogera abavuka mu ggwanga lya Uganda bali mugezako kubanga beekunga era abasinzidde eyo batutegeza nti ebyadala mu mwinzo okuba muri eyo naye ebyadala wano mu ggwanga erya Uganda embeera essaawa yonna avuka bagamba nti baagala buwanguzi watu. The international community Ugandan youth activists that one you're watching is calling up Ugandans, especially the youth, to demand for their victory. They allege that they won the election and Justice Simon Wekaba Electoral Commission boss just announced the different results. As of now, things are yet to be shown to you. First listen here, keep sharing, subscribe to this channel.
Victory is our challenge. There is no any situation that they will bring out as a strategy to demoralize us and we fall for it. Ugandans, we need to rise up. Ugandans.
It is totally unacceptable that you can imagine a scenario where the internet would be shut off in Britain or in the United States, and then a so-called election is conducted. And the incumbent declares himself or herself the winner. Well, in most cases, himself. So imagine in the United Kingdom, under the Labour government, shutting down the internet and then running a so-called election and finding that acceptable. Or the same thing in the United States. It's diabolical. It is completely unacceptable. There should not be two standards for human beings because that's what they're saying. If the United States, if Britain, if the EU countries recognizes that military dictator General Yoweri Museveni is the winner of a so-called election in Uganda, it means they do not regard you as human beings. We suspected that, but this would be the clear proof and evidence. Just think about it. Imagine that situation where the internet would be turned off in the UK or the US or France or Germany. And then after it's turned off, the incumbent declares that they won the elections by 70%. Utter nonsense. We won't accept it. That's the first point I wanted to make. The second point is this. Robert Kyagulanyi, BOBI Wine, has proven to the world, to Africa, and to all of us Ugandans that he's one of the bravest Africans ever. Today, I want to make some more brief comments. And the number I want you to remember is 202-647-4000. 202-647-4000. That is the number for the U.S. State Department. And I would like you to call that number and to say you are calling, you are either Ugandan or a friend of Uganda, you are certainly a supporter of democracy, and you do not want the United States government to recognize this diabolical sham elections in Uganda born. He's challenging General Museveni and the imbecile, his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who boast of torturing other human beings. Museveni has boasted in the past about how many people he's killed. BOBI Wine challenged them, beginning when he ran for parliament and destroyed the candidate supported by Museveni. He went to Arua, destroyed the candidate supported by Museveni by campaigning for the opposition candidate. And then he was arrested, he was tortured, he was beaten. He got a chance to go to the United States for treatment. Many people did not expect him to go back to Uganda. Not many people would do so, but he did. He's willing to fight within the belly of the beast. That means he's willing to die and sacrifice his life for a better future and a better present for Ugandans. So we must support him. And if they do kill him, if Museveni and Muhoozi kills Bobi Wine, well, sisters and brothers, I don't need to tell you what you would need to do. A luta continua, democracy will prevail in Uganda.
Much as it was beyond our expectation. But Ugandans, the responsibility still remains on us, the indigenous Ugandans, that we have again to go back on street and start demanding for our victory, because victory is our challenge. There is no any situation that they will bring out as a strategy to demoralize us and we fall for it. Ugandans, we need to rise up. Ugandans, this is the time that we have to get on our marks. The battle, it has just begun. Stealing our victory and even beyond our expectation. It's like they've just drawn a battle line whereby we need to get ready. We need to be together, having the same mindset, which is removing the incumbent government. I know some of us, we might not see the future of what we are fighting for, but we have again to make sure that our children see them. Because it has always been the inaction of those who could have acted that have made it possible for the dictators to think they are untouchable. That's why you see they are laying a lot of strategies, and some people who would have acted, they have also tried to show you that they are siding with the incumbent government just to demoralize you, who has taken the civic engagement.
There are groups trying to instill fear in the population, but we would like to give them assurances and guarantees that the streets are safe, business should go on normal, nobody should feel threatened, not even journalists. Actually, where you have challenges as journalists, you really need to reach us as police management and any other leaders within the security and government circles. You are free to carry out your and exercise your rights as journalists as long as you act responsibly. We have restricted areas, which I guess you know, where you need accreditation. And what I can see, and I know most of you here are accredited, you have your accreditation badges, telecenters, and like for example, yes, you cannot cover a security installation. Some of these things, you know them, they are at your fingertips. But ordinarily working as a journalist, I don't think there should be any threat. But just in case it was an act of an overzealous security person, you can always call us in to try to make interventions. But one statement at least I can make, Eble, is we have tried to talk to security officers to restrain themselves from making unjustified attacks on our journalists. And when you make a comparative analysis, at least there has been a very cordial relationship between journalists and security. Where we have had those one or two unfortunate situations, they are regrettable, and we are sorry about them. We can always correct that. Yes. We shall give statistics about fatalities in an organized and in a single statistic. I mean, on a given day, because I do not have information about scattered incidents as a communicator for Uganda Police Force.
Maybe finally from me,
Please.
don't you think
To fight for your country. You understand my point? I know everyone has got a breaking point. Our MPs maybe who have lost election, I know you are not feeling the same, but again, this is a call for you to gather more confidence. Because where there is fear is where there is freedom and victory, whereby you need to face fear and you get to the victory. And this one will not only come when you sit back and you fold the hand watching the country go astray. Uganda is all we have. To some people who are in prison, the only way they can get justice is seeing us fighting to get back our country. And that is when Uganda as a country will regain the meaning of having independence, not this ceremonial independence. To those ones who voted against the incumbent government, whom you never know maybe they can't get into the street, they are waiting for us. And we have to play our role, that even if it calls us to die and the history of this country happens not to be written by us, but still written by Ugandans, where we shall be thrown or buried, our soul will be happy because our children will have got peace. Ugandans, we need to raise up. Tuzukuke. Tulina okulwanirira ensi yaffe. Uganda is the only country that we have.
Baganda bange mbabuza ko naje muli. Assalamu alaykum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nze no musirimu mativu ne salawo ya byabakama. Simanyi oba sabadini ki, simanyi oba obwetuwaze bwenkana ki. Naye nze omu kubatakiriziganya naye. Omuntu waba asoma ebiwandiika asoma nti ekyanna mukaka webuti ne webuti ne webuti n'amaana agamba ati empigi webuti ne webuti etasobola kujja n'agamba nti kati twakabalako ebyalo nkaaga oluwebuti twakabalako ebitundu 8 oluwebuti. So enkola ya mwami byabakama nze omusikkiriziganya nayo nze nga nze era nze omu